Welcome back to HPL. We saw Zalae even up this match here at 1-1. I'm Tanner Grace. I'm joined by Nathan. That's Admirable Zamora. We're going to be moving into Game 3 here in this match, but that Game 2, man, Zalae just put on an absolute clinic in the Warrior Mirror there.
Yeah, the Warlock Mirror is just so dominant at every single step of the way. And something else that we've seen from him now is he's queued up 2 different Warlock strategies. So love that he's kind of going the multi-dynamic. Is he going to do it again? And it's anyone's guess. We're going to find out here in Game 3, Neirea versus Zalae.
Yeah, you have to be, well, it looks like Zalae's going to throw in a huge change here and move into a Hunter deck, and Neirea's going to queue up Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Purple play with a Hunter deck that actually had Snipe and King Mukla in his deck. I wonder if Zalae is playing anywhere near that range of cards. And Neirea playing Rogue here. This is a little bit of against the grain for him. We talked about how, you know, he may need to focus on some combo strategies at some point here, and Rogue is definitely one of them.
Well, maybe he heard your intro and he just like took it to heart. Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see if Zalae has any interesting card choices. I think he's a little closer to the vest than say Purple is. You know, I think he's I don't want to say safer, but more, you know,
conventional.
Conventional, yeah, more used to the grain than Purple is. Nothing against Purple. Purple's cards have worked out great for him.
Yeah, Purple's also the coach of this team, though. So, I mean, the big influence that he provides to all of these players and how they choose to approach things with their strategy. So, there's no guarantees on one side or the other. That's a Houndmaster in his opening hand, though. That's a big glimpse into how he wants to play this strategy. More of a mid-range style. If you can find a spot to really utilize Houndmaster, you can get some massive swings in how the boards work out.
Oh, yeah. Houndmaster on a Haunted Creeper is a pretty good one, and he's actually going to play the turn 1 Abusive Circuit here and just dare Neirea to run his hero power into it.
Yeah, Neirea with a really interesting hand himself. I mean, this is a spot where I expect there to be a coin in either a Dagger or a Blood Mage Thalnos. I think either one of these plays is fine. He's going to hang on to his Blood Mage, though, and try to maybe pick up a little bit more value with it. If he couples it with something like Fan of Knives that he could pick up, that could be a major importance in this game. But Zalae got to continue to come out swinging here. He's got turn 2 Haunted Creeper, turn 3 Eagle Horn Bow, and turn 4 Houndmaster. So if this Haunted Creeper goes unchecked, it's spelling good things for him.
Yeah, and Zalae is completely okay with that transition of giving up his Abusive Sergeant for a hero power there because he got the coin out of his hand as well.
Yeah, backstab, excellent pickup for Neirea in this turn, and even going to add the Blood Mage to the board to make sure things stay checked. Going to continue to use his life total. You know, taking one at a time is really not that big of a deal. Every point of damage matters, but it's a matter now of whether or not Zalae can actually get the pressure to follow this game up, and that Houndmaster is going to be stranded in his hand next turn.
Yeah, I mean, he may just run it out as a 4-3 depending on what he does this turn. It depends on if he wants to play Mad Scientist or develop this Eagle Horn Bow. I mean, he's got a lot of options to him. It just depends on how he wants to play the matchup going forward from here, because he doesn't need to be recklessly aggressive, I don't think, since, you know, his deck is geared towards some late game stuff, but you may see him just push for a bunch of damage here.
Yeah, so gonna go ahead and trade his 1/1, keep the Eagle Horn Bow up. Wants to use this to check minions instead, and again, that's sort of more of the way this strategy is gonna pan out. The Houndmaster, very telling of that fact, so he's gonna keep his options open. You know, we talked about that at the beginning of the game, loves to have options moving forward from him, and Neirea, I mean, this is looking like a turn where it's just dagger up and pass, really got no action afterwards. That Piloted Shredder and 2 Saps, though, likely to be able to continue to give him an edge in these games.
Yeah, this Piloted Shredder and these 2 Saps are going to be great going forward. Zalae doesn't have a ton of action going on. You get Houndmaster for no value this turn, or you can Mad Scientist and weave in a hero power, which I think is what we're going to see since he has an Eagle Horn Bow in play.
Yeah, I fully expect him to hold back this Eagle Horn Bow as well, especially once he's gotten the Mad Scientist. The fact that he's going to be getting a trap out of this, which at some point in this game is going to trigger, he's got 3 swings with that weapon now. And Neirea hasn't had a ton of pressure coming out for him, but love this play from him.
I absolutely love this. Yeah, I love this play from Neirea. I think players aren't aggressive enough with their saps sometimes, and just it's a big tempo advantage. We've talked about this with Rogue a lot. If they can get to their turn with a minion in play, it is very dangerous for your opponent.
Yeah, so Zalae having to answer this in some sort of way now, but not a clean way to do it. He does have Kill Command that he can couple with this, but is that where you want to be using your cards this way? I mean, you know, investing into a Piloted Shredder always feels like something you really don't want to do.
Yeah, there's a couple bad minions for you that can come out of this. There's a couple great ones as well, but using a Kill Command and having to take 4 damage from using your bow to kill this just feels terrible.
Yeah, gonna Kill Command first and see what comes out of this. I mean, there's a couple drops that he really does not want to see, but Blood Mage, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but not the best thing in the world either. Giving Neirea an extra card on this is one of the last things I think he wanted to see.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the last things he wanted to see, but the second Blood Mage of the game for Neirea here. Yeah. I feel a little fortunate about that one.
Even feels forced to take it out. Doesn't want this Mad Scientist to die to something like a Fan of Knives or like maybe a Desperation Blade Flurry or something weird. So I like that he's clearing it up, but Neirea, I mean, this is a spot now where Rogue can really start falling behind. He's got a lot of damage in his hand, but how does he put this to full effect? I mean, he has to do something to stifle this pressure, but he has no minions to add to the board.
You're 100% correct here. This is where Rogue can have a big problem. In the middle of the game, yeah, he's got a ton of the of the cards that help him win the game, but he doesn't have a minion to push through a lot of the damage and to get full value off Tinker Sharpshooter Oil. He's not applying pressure to Zalae, to where Zalae has to overextend into a Blade Flurry, so Zalae's gonna get to pick him apart here however he wants over the next couple turns if Neirea doesn't draw a minion and draw one soon.
Yeah, so Zalae has to be interested in this play from Neirea. Just plays Tinker Sharpshooter Oil to get a 4-power dagger out and then move forward from there. I have to venture to say at this point he doesn't want to commit too much to the board.
Yeah, you don't want to commit too much to the board because it's definitely signaling a Blade Flurry for sure.
Yeah, so how does he push for damage in sort of a safe way, but at the same time keeping up enough pressure that Neirea feels like he has to do something?
I think if you Abusive Sergeant here, swing for 4, and then use a hero power, you get in 6 damage this turn. It puts Neirea to 19, and he's in pretty much the same situation that he was last turn. He has a 4-power dagger now. It just matters if Zalae wants to really extend, but I seriously doubt he will.
Yeah, I don't see Knife Juggler coming into play after this sequence of plays here.
I mean, it's going to float a lot of mana, but you still have a lot of power in your hand going forward, and obviously Neirea's hand is not good.
Yeah, I mean, he did make a very good use out of his turn. I mean, I also think that Houndmaster and Hero Power here is something that's totally fine, but I love the Abusive Sergeant here. No clean way for Neirea to kill it. Can't just use his Hero Power to take this out. If he wants to do something about this board, he's going to have to use something like Blade Flurry or expend some of his cards.
Yeah, and you're still getting a tiny bit of value as well. You still get your, that was a good draw. You still
right after he uses the Tinker Sharpshooter Oil too. That's all. I think it's probably one of the last things he actually wanted to see happen, but looks like he's going to go for the big swing this
16
turn.
16 point.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, he actually can get through a ton of damage here. If he draws another Tinker Sharpshooter Oil, it's probably going to be enough, because he's going to get the Blade Flurry for a ton here, re-dagger up. He's got an Eviscerate in his hand and a South Sea Deckhand. That is another 6 damage from burst damage here, but he still has to deal with this trap that came off of the Mad Scientist.
Piloted Shredder, great draw from Zalae. Able to really start adding the pressure. I mean, once you've just seen your opponent expend this much into a Blade Flurry, you are worried about the amount of damage that they can put out, but you're sitting behind a trap right now, and your opponent doesn't know exactly what that is. I fully expect him at this point to start turning up the heat and being a little bit more reckless with these cards.
Yeah, it's absolutely a scary proposition for Zalae to see that turn from Neirea, to see him use so many resources to get in 16 damage. Like I said, just to get in that much damage. But yeah, it's kind of scary. Neirea is drawing pretty well here in these last couple turns.
Astro Drake, one of his best draws in his deck right now. Even adds an antique heal bot, so he's got plenty of
time. There's the snipe!
Wow, it is snipe too!
Just a little grid from Zalae.
We have yet to see a snipe happen and not a smile from a player. That is fantastic result for Zalae. The fact that that Mad Scientist killed a 4-poor minion.
I think I would love to see Purple run in his room right now and just give him a high five for the snipe play, but that would be like one of my favorite things here. But yeah, now Neirea's gonna have to switch up his game plans a little bit here since he lost his Adgrake. He's gonna have to Eviscerate to take care of this Knife Juggler. Now he's like pretty far behind. The Antique Healbot was a good draw, but now he's on his back foot since he doesn't get any value from his Azure Drake.
Wow, Haunted Creeper picked up
what a
too.
Draw.
Is this going to be the turn where Zalae commits his Houndmaster?
Zalae's going to push really hard this turn. He's going to attack for 4, use his Hero Power, Houndmaster, Haunted Creeper. I have to believe that's his turn from here, and just give it to Neirea.
Yeah.
Good luck beating all this. You've used your Deadly Poisons. You've already used a Tinker Sharpshooter Oil, and you've already used one of your Blade Flurries. Good luck beating this board.
Yeah, I fully expect that too. Sap is going to help.
He's going to attack with his weapon as well too.
Yeah. Sap is going to help alleviate some of this pressure, but sitting behind 2 4-power minions, another 3-power bow, and 2 damage from the Hero Power every single turn. This is potentially lights out for Neirea now. He needs something huge this turn.
Yeah, I mean he picked up a Blade Flurry that won't be terrible if he draws something really, really
He's got
good.
No poisons left.
Yeah,
he's got one Sharpshooter Oil
left. He needs the one Sharpshooter Oil left is what I'm saying. It's one of his 2 cards that he needs from here. Antique Healbot and Sap, as you said, is going to alleviate some of the pressure here, but Zalae has 13 damage already without any of the cards in his hand.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's not even counting the Unleash the Hounds for the extra.
Oh, the 14,
yeah. So a lot of draws here are lethal for Zalae. Quick Shot would be lethal.
Kill Command.
Yeah, Kill Command would be lethal. The right Animal Companion, Wolf Rider, Arcane Golem. I don't know if he's playing these cards.
A ton of actual cards to kill him this turn.
Loatheb is going to be
pretty much lethal.
I mean, Neirea is not going to be able to play a single card after this Loatheb hits play, and everything on Zalae's side of the board right now. This damage is going to come crashing in, and he's probably just going to put all this damage to face and say, you know what, deal with it. I don't think you can. Neirea's got 4 on board, but he can't cast any spells under this Loatheb. So unless he's got something like, I don't know, Leroy Jenkins Arcane Golem tucked under, there's going to be no dice here. Oh, he can get a good Piloted Shredder drop. There is the possibility of the random Doomsayer, but just not enough in the end, and Zalae's going to take a 2-1 lead here over Neirea.
Yeah, what a game from Zalae here. Played really, really well. Neirea, his hand didn't really pan out in the middle of the game. You saw that turn where he just played Tinker Sharpshooter Oil, didn't really do anything else, and then had that huge blade flurry turn we got in 16. That was really the only offensive he mustered the entire game.
Yeah, Snipe once again making a big difference too. I mean, the fact that he killed that Azure Drake with a death rattle on the Mad Scientist, that's a huge swing in the game, and he got the second charge on the bow. The really big, writing on the wall here is the fact that Neirea had such a terrible turn 5. Tinker, Sharp, Soda Oil, go.
Yeah, that's just the worst turn 5 you could pretty much have, besides just actually go. It didn't really do anything, and then that Lotheb at the end, the game was already pretty much decided, but that was just actually backbreaking. You need to be doing more out of the rogue deck. You need to draw more minions in those games and not have them get sniped.
Yeah, not the right mix of cards for Neirea and Zalae. Despite the fact that he had a rocky start, was easily able to take it. If you want to see exactly how this game went and see some of the other snipes that have been played in the past, Purple was one of the players playing him. You can head over to pvplive.net and check out the full recaps and breakdowns for yourself. See the strategies they play, and more importantly, how they play them. When we come back, it's match point for Zalae, and Neirea is going to need 2 straight if he wants to continue his undefeated streak. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.